We are the Honeywell
Heroes, baby.
Okay.
What do you think? Did I sound like Enrique?
It sounded like the Backstreet, the NSYNC.
It was
Justin
Enrique.
Timberlake.
Enrique, come on.
I don't know.
I can be a...
Okay. I really don't think you sound anything like him. Do you?
Do I look like him?
Okay. We're going to move. We got to move forward with our
I got you
podcast.
stuttering and everything, dude. Sorry, my notes are so fire.
Hey, pod week. Podcast week number
4, baby.
4.
Uh-huh.
We got a guest, and I'm going to let Random T over here.
Look, so guest number 2, week number 4. This is none other than the voice of Clinton, Iowa, Chris Streets.
Gentlemen, thank you. Thank you very much.
Of course.
What a beautiful voice.
Yeah, thank you.
That is like a mixture of Fergie and Jesus.
I thought I was on week 1. And now
He did
now
say
I
you were
sound
fire in week 1. I watched the video.
I know,
Yeah.
see?
I guess next time I'll have to do the heroes.
You do your lunch menu voice.
That was like almost like Celine Dion.
Yeah, I'm telling
And
you.
I was Celine Dion last
You were,
week.
but you're letting this dude take it over as he gets here.
I might as well quit, right?
Hey.
It's like you have already about 100 times.
Hey, Random's retiring. Me and old Chris Streety's here. We're taking over.
There you go. We got it.
Okay.
You're going to let us use this room, right?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, just ring the doorbell. It's fine.
Yeah, we ain't renting it either. We get it for free. That's the way it works.
Okay.
Here's what I don't think he really needs much of an introduction, but why don't you just fill us in? 94.7 Mac FM. You've been the voice for a long time.
Yeah.
Give us the rundown of your career there.
Well, I came to Mac 94.7 Memorial Day weekend 2000. It was really strange. I was sitting in my apartment in central Kentucky, and I got a phone call, and it was a gentleman by the name of Rick Bolger. And he says, "Hey, we've got your resume here. We've listened to your tape." And tape. That's how old I am. It was a cassette tape.
That's old school.
Yeah, it was one of those that had the pink, purple, and green, too. You know?
Oh, yeah.
But he said, "We're listening to your tape, and we'd really like to interview you." I said, "My tape for what?" And he said, "Well, we have your resume and your tape for the job we have open." I said, "Dude, I have no idea what you're talking about. I have not sent out a resume ever in my life." And he says, "Well, we have it." And I said, where is it? And he said, "We're at KCLN in Clinton, Iowa." And I was like, "What?" He said, "Well, you're," and he gave my address. And I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." He said, "Well, we have your information right here. We'd like to talk to you." So we did like a 15-minute phone interview. I had no idea where this guy was coming from. And so we got done. And I called my parents who live in Fulton. And I said, this guy from Clinton just called and wants to talk to me about a job. And my mom says, "Oh, good. He got your information." I said, "What?" My mom sent the information to the radio station.
Without letting you know? Like,
Without letting me know.
surprise.
Yeah, she wanted, what I did was I used to make air check tapes for my mom because it was pre-internet, so she couldn't listen. And she took one of those to, at the time, it was the Eagle 94.7 at KCLN. Gave it to them, and they hired me. So that I moved here Memorial Day weekend of 2000. I became the general manager in 2007. And
Awesome.
so, yeah, I've been the morning show host and general manager now for 16 years.
Wow. The mom story, I'm just rolling. That's awesome. It's identity theft without being identity theft.
It's my mom. She gave me the identity. She can have it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to send this out. You didn't really know that you applied for this job, but hey, get a job because you ain't coming back here and live with us.
You know, I see those stories on like American Idol a lot, where people they would have never did it, but like their friend signed them up or blah,
It's
blah,
kind
blah.
of like Lionel Richie and Luke Bryan. I'm sitting
Basically.
here. I'm the Katy Perry of this gang.
Yeah.
I don't know about
I was just gonna say, I thought I was like Paula Abdul or something.
I'm the low guy here, but
What,
that's
you're
okay.
the cameraman or something? Or
I'm the
sound guy?
they just call me the king. That's what I'm known as.
Okay. King Stenda.
There it is.
Only in his apartment.
That's right. There's stories we will not tell.
Yeah.
Oh, secret.
So we're gonna get more into Mr. Streets here later, but we're gonna kick off like we've kind of been going the last 2 weeks with the Honeywell hero story.
Okay.
All right.
Now, Chris, before we move forward, it could be we're using this part for Honeywell heroes, could be a coaching story, or even a playing day when you were playing sports. But I know we've all been involved in at Honeywell.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear story from you guys to kick it off. Give me something Honeywell. Because people love Honeywell. I feel like that's where everyone's like, we love to hear So that's Give
So
me some.
I'm going to give you a real short story this week.
Go for it.
This is the only thing on my mind, and I'm saying this because this is my guest, or our guest, I should say. But anyway, so back in high school, I really wanted to take the head umpire job from, I believe it was Ben Boothby at the time.
It was
Boothby, yeah.
Or or was it Scott DeAngelis?
Nope.
No, it was Scott
after
and then
D'Angelo's.
Ben.
Yep.
Yeah. So I really wanted it, and I think I was blowing whoever up. I don't know, was it an email at the time? I don't know if we even had Facebook then, did we?
Yeah, we didn't have Facebook.
So somehow it must have been an email.
Phone calls, texts, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't even know if I had texting. Well, yeah. No, I didn't. Anyway, so, I got texting when I was like 19. So that would have been 2008 or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, so I reached out, and this is the guy right here who hired me. Well, you half hired me, actually.
Yeah.
Because you hired me and David Lakin. And then David ended up not being able to do it.
I didn't hire David
Lakin,
Lakin.
baby.
That was Ben Yoder that wanted Dave Lakin.
So you hired me, and then he hired Dave, and then Dave couldn't do it. Because baseball. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and that was when I didn't play baseball. So I was rapping and head umping.
Junior year? Or you mean senior year? You're
That was-
talking about our
I think
senior
year. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
senior
okay,
year.
senior year. Okay.
So yeah, fun fact is Chris Streets hired me to be head ump, and where I actually stayed there for like way too long, 10 years after he hired me, and it was awesome. Lots of cool stories that we can get into other episodes and stuff. But yeah, hired by the man,
Yeah.
the president.
Man,
President
myth, and legend.
at the time. Yeah. I was president there. I was on the board for 6 years, and I was president for 3 of them.
Did you want to be president, or did they
No.
force you into it?
No.
I feel like every president there after that, they were forced into it.
Well, it was, I can't remember who was president before me, but they were like, "You're president now." I'm like, no, don't we have to vote? Nope, it's yours.
So they made me be on the board after I was head ump for they're like, okay, you've been here forever, you got to be on the board. And I can't remember who it was, but it was when John Mulholland when John Mulholland took it over, we sat in the meeting, and everybody's like, and whoever was the president, I think it was Brian Duncan at the time, he was like, I'm done president. Or he's like, announcement, I'm done being president. And everybody's sitting there like quiet. And they're like, okay, well, we got to elect another one. Everybody's like, all right, John Mulholland, you're the president. And he's like, he had no idea what to say. He's like, well, okay, I guess I'm president.
So I was president 3 years. I coached from little sluggers all the way through majors.
That's awesome.
And never won a championship. Made a championship game in minors and majors. And, we played in the championship game against the Pirates.
Yeah.
You had Mr. Hart on here last time.
Okay.
And
number 32.
yeah, and he was on the Pirates.
Yes.
And they
Probably
destroyed us in the championship game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Was he pitching?
I don't remember if he pitched or not, but I know he hit
Yeah.
a lot. And I actually had a kid want to quit in the middle of that game. We were flying through the season. I mean, we were smoking everybody. And we got to that championship game, and we got down 4-0 or something after one inning. And the kid who was pitching for him, he's like, I quit. I'm quitting the team. I'm like, what are you talking about?
He's done.
He's like, I'm
Donezo, baby.
This team stinks.
So, did you ever throw any clipboards or anything?
I never threw a clipboard. No? I broke a clipboard on my forehead.
Oh, yeah,
once.
that's right. That's right. That's what I was thinking.
What?
Yeah,
On your
I
forehead?
always kept my my book on a clipboard.
Oh.
And I won't say his name.
You
That
could
was
say it.
umpiring.
You don't need to.
He was umpiring behind the plate.
Okay.
And in the end of the first inning, it was 19-18, and neither team had a hit.
Okay, well.
And so I called time. I called over the other coach.
Yeah.
And we went to the umpire, and I said, hey, man, you got to open up your zone. This is horrible.
Yeah,
we got to
how
get
do
the
you-
kid. Nobody wants to swing now because they know they're going to walk. We were almost to the time limit after one inning.
I've seen those games.
And so he says, Coach, get back to your dugout. I'll call it like I want to call it.
Oh, boy.
And so my blood started to boil, and he continued to call a tight zone. And I was just getting more and more angry, and I yelled for him to open it up, and he turned around and he said, Coach, shut up and sit down or you're out of here. And so I let out a very barbaric scream, and I smashed the clipboard on my forehead, and it exploded. And all the parents,
I like this.
all the parents just went dead quiet.
Was I the head ump then?
I think you were.
I think I remember.
I fired him during the game.
Because I remember this.
Yeah, I fired him during the game, but he wouldn't leave. And so I went and got the board member who was on duty that night and told him to get him off my field. And I never used my power when I was there. But that game,
You used a little bit?
Dude.
Reached in the back pocket?
yeah, the final score was like 27-24. and both teams had no hitters. It was horrible.
That's nuts. Like a football score.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Well, that's the thing with coaching though. You got to be passionate, and sometimes now the umpire stuff.
Sometimes smashing a clipboard over your face is passionate.
You just got to show the fans and the kids that you really care. And I could see from the coaching standpoint, like when I was coaching high school, I can definitely see where there were times I wanted to. I mean, the things I wanted to say, but then I realized if I do that, they're going to think this is okay. But going back to the youth league, it's hard because you want, again, like we were talking beforehand, you want them to just go out and play and learn the basic fundamentals. Yeah. This is not an MLB game.
Right.
Strike zone has to be tight, right? It's got to be, you're talking about Honeywell, it should be the white line to the white line.
Right. At least.
If you're not swinging, you want them to swing the bat. I mean, you don't want them swinging at pitches above your head in the dirt, but you want them to, how many coaches you remember back in the day? Good eye. What does good eye mean? I never understood.
It means the
good
umpire
eye means.
didn't call the strike.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it means. Good eye, nothing, man. The umpire it blew a call. You say good eye when the umpire doesn't call a strike. But my thing is with the kids, I wanted them to hit. I said, listen, a walk will get you to first base, but a hit could get you to second or third.
Yeah.
Swing the bat. And if they struck out, I was the first one to meet them outside the dugout to tell them, hey, that's a good swing, man. Nice and level swing.
At least you're trying.
Yeah. But then you got the kid who just stands up there with it on their shirt. He's like, swing the bat.
I know.
You can't do that.
And then those are the kids that when they swing it, their parents are in the stands cheering, yay, he swung.
Or they're the ones in the
ball.
stands going, quit swinging at bad pitches.
Oh, yeah. Those are the worst ones.
If I were to ever come back to CJB, which I might have to someday, I don't know. But if I ever come back to CJB, there'll be one rule. No parents allowed.
You know how great that would be?
I loved coaching. The only part I hated about coaching all the while I was in CJB were the parents. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't all of them.
Right.
But
just that
I mean, how many parents
general?
did we have to kick out of the ballpark?
I know. I used to throw people out all the time.
It was disgusting.
And it got
sometimes.
worse. The longer I stayed, it got worse because I was like, I've already seen this like 4 times in the past 4 years. It's like, stop. Whatever.
Yeah. We had the worst. We won't bring it up, but that day when we had to go over to number 1
field, I think it was 6.
Well,
I was
the
on
old Baker field, the one that had the Gil Baker on the.
Okay.
Right.
It was
on
that field.
Yeah. It was on.
So I was umping on 6, and I hopped
you had to
over.
go over to 1. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You're
Because
right.
I yelled for you to come over. I was the one on duty, and I'm like, what am I gonna do?
Wasn't it like completely unrelated to baseball though? It was like a.
It was racial.
Yeah.
Remember?
Oh yeah. Oh, so there was 2. There was another one after you were gone.
Well, was that the one where they had the fist fight?
Yes, and it was like about a kid and his mom and dad.
And it was a stepdad and a dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was there for that one too, big guy.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, Jeremy's like, you guys shut up. This is my show.
No. I'm saying I like to because think about that era when you guys were doing that, and then I think back to when our era when we were playing, way different. There were parents I remember, and I wouldn't name them, that said ridiculous stuff and didn't have a clue, but I don't remember any of that stuff. And I think that's what's so common now is how you getting kicked out of a little league game. Mm-hmm. If you are as a parent, or a person, you better go literally after that, go home, look in the mirror and say, I need to rethink my entire life. If you're literally getting kicked out,
people get so caught up in like the wrong idea of why they're even there.
Right.
You know, that's the hardest part about it. It's easy, like I said, it's easy to do as a parent to be passionate about what your kid's doing and you want your kid to be awesome. But at the same time, it's like at the end of the day, when you go home, are you proud that you just acted that way at a game? You know, There's no way. There's no way you're like sitting in your chair at home. You know, and you're like, I'm
glad I called that umpire that name.
Yeah.
Well, last year
he's only 12.
The last year I coached at CJB was 2010.
Okay.
So that was 12 years ago.
Yep.
If any of those kids that were playing CJB with the dads who thought they were going to be pro players, they should be all-stars in major leagues right now. Guess what? Not a damn one out there. Think about that next time you're screaming at an umpire or at a coach.
Yeah.
Right. They don't have
I agree.
I think it's that.
And also, in addition to that, none of the umpires there are professional umpires.
Right.
Which makes you realize they were just there to get a paycheck.
Kids.
And they just want to be outside
What did you guys
work.
make? Like $30-$40 a game?
No.
It was
15.
It was 15 for the plate and remember I did 15 for the plate, 10 for the bases.
No, it was 20 for the plate, 15
You
for
made
the
like
bases.
$30,000 a year being the head ump.
At least. Maybe more.
Yeah, you guys were doctoring the books or doing something because I know when I got the paycheck, we're doing it. I remember when I first started doing it in 8th grade. Jordan Sanders. Jordan Sanders. Do you remember Jordan Sanders?
I don't.
Okay. He was a good athlete for Clinton High School. He was our incoming freshman year, and it was $10 for the field and $15 for the plate.
Yeah.
And you were fighting over the plate.
And Ben Yoder bumped it up to 15 and 20.
15 and 20.
We were all like,
yes. That baby. That extra $5. Like, what are you going to buy an extra can of beef jerky chew? Or
and you want to know what's crazy?
I don't know.
So it was 15 and 20 back when I started in 2007. Guess how much they're paying them now?
15 and 20?
15 and 20. They haven't raised it at all. They with all the inflation.
Stupid.
That's awesome.
Yep. These kids can't even afford to drive there.
Again, whatever. You wonder why you're not going to get anybody to come work, do any of those things. It hasn't changed in 15, 20 years.
Oh, what are they doing? They're standing there saying strike and ball.
I know. No, I know. Most of the kids didn't even care. Half the time I would get all the paychecks for the umpires, and they would never even come pick them up. So,
Right. They didn't realize they got paid.
yeah, they were just there to have fun.
I knew I was because I was cruising around the dike in my Beretta.
Well, yeah, or your moped.
Or I had a 1983 Honda moped.
There you go.
And
Express 2?
It was an Express.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yellow with the banana seat or blue with the triangle?
It was black, and it had red lettering on there.
Hey, question. Did you ever crash it?
You know what? That's going to be my story because I did. And I will tell you,
let's hear about it.
The one crash was
The one. Number 5.
I know I crashed a bunch of times on that thing,
Well, everybody get your popcorn.
but I just remember that time I dropped it at Ethan Holmes' house. I dropped this moped. It's in his driveway, and I drop it. It just falls over, and I don't even know how it fell over.
It has a kickstand.
It had a kickstand, and it goes over.
It came up on its own or something.
But it was by the Erickson Center.
I remember this.
And
I was on Ben's moped, Boothby's.
And that was right. Didn't I go up over the?
You thumped right up over. It was like where you can hit the golf balls, like where
The 19th hole up there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it'd be like it's like when you're taking it's Willany Drive, and then it's the little golf portion, and then you go this way. Erickson Center's here. Here's a curb. You go this way back towards Harding, and I'm cruising through, and I just remember hitting it.
For some reason, you decided to just go.
And I'd hit the. Remember, I hit the curb, and it flipped me and threw me off. And I'm thinking in the air, I'm thinking, shit, man, this is not gonna be good. But the best thing was because it was grass. But I hit that sucker, and I just remember, boom. And I don't know how that thing didn't fall on top of me.
Yeah.
But it missed me somehow. And the moped was up.
You hit it like you were had no idea that you were about to hit it. You were just like you had groceries in the basket.
Yeah, like I was just coming home, man. I know.
Yeah, you didn't look like Travis Pastrana. You looked like Travis's grandma.
I was probably only going. Well, I was 195 pounds, and I was a bigger. I think the weight limit I remember on that was 180 pounds.
So you're busting over it. Huh?
And I wanted to go as fast as I could go, but I get going like 32 down a hill.
No, we'd take the governors off of them.
See, and I always wanted to figure out how to do, but I never could.
I had a Vespa pedal start moped when I was 14.
So how did that work? Do you start pedaling and then it goes?
Yeah, it has a little clutch. You pull in, you pedal, and then you let out the clutch and it kicks it on. But my best friend and I took the governor pin out, and it would do 54 miles an hour. And I lived in the trailer court out on 30, and we would ride to school in Comanche. And we'd pass cars on Highway 30.
54 on a moped probably felt like 120.
But it locked up. I was driving in, and I was coming home, and the motor just died. It locked up tight. I laid it down at like 45 miles an hour, sliding on gravel. I still have scars on both elbows.
Really?
Yeah. But it was the coolest moped ever. $150.
Hey,
bought it in DeWitt.
As long as it was worth it.
I had 6 mopeds.
Yeah,
from 14 to 16 years old.
Wow.
I had 43 cars since I was 16.
You should get another moped now.
I should. Yeah. I look like a gorilla humping a football.
Well, I mean, that's kind of, it used to be the Comanche. Comanche had the moped.
We were the moped kings.
Yeah, you guys were.
And it was long before the orange flags. We looked cool.
Yeah. When they said, you need a flag on there.
Yeah, that was when I did. I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah, the old safety flag. I mean, I think about the safety flags. Man, this is terrible. I used to, when I was working at University Heights Police in Iowa City, suburb, I used to pull them over on their moped and have a flag on there.
Wow,
and
you were that guy, huh?
I did. Listen, I did it a few times.
Yeah.
And it would be like a football player. I didn't know. They cruise past me and have no flag on there. And, hey, you don't have a flag? Oh, man, I didn't know I need one. Hey, I write them an $87 ticket for it. And then I'm like, one day, why am I doing this? You don't have a flag, but I had a flag. But then I'm like, well, you need to get that flag. And they'd be like, I'm so sorry. But then one day I remember stopping somebody on a moped and I'm like, why do I even care that you don't have a flag? What does it matter? You have a flag.
$87.
It was $87 for a
This
flag.
this is what you should have did. You should have offered them a $20 discount if they paid cash
Right.
on the spot.
That
and
would
then just took off.
be unethical, and I would no longer.
Or
be
you
pleased.
take the $80 and you have a bunch of flags in the back of the car.
Yeah. Then I just started
Like,
digging.
here, you can have a flag. I won't give you the ticket. Give me
Yeah.
the $80. Here's your flag.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, if you were smart, dude.
I know. I'm not.
You could have been retired by now, Stenda.
I know. I still got. I'll probably never retire.
Start
So.
busting kids.
Oh man.
Moped patrol.
Love
Let's
it.
go.
I think you guys. The story. I like your stories. I don't even want to use mine because
Well, no, you got to use your story, bro.
there's just so many, and
Okay, well, you got one.
I don't even want to use this one right now.
Okay, use a different one.
All right, you know who I'm gonna throw in there.
Jeez.
It's a good one. It's not a good one. Scott, you know who's a part of this story? Scott Madison, the mayor. Shout out to Scott Madison, the mayor of Clinton, Iowa.
Scotty
I
boy.
had him on the show this morning.
Did you?
Did you?
We need to have. We're gonna have him on here. At
We
some
gotta
point.
get him.
I haven't talked to him about it, and he doesn't know, but he's gonna be.
You want
on
me to
here.
call him?
Yeah. So.
You call him and say, "Hey, Scotty, hey, get on here."
Hey, just so you know, you're not invited. You're forced.
That's right.
You don't have a choice.
We could not tell him we're on the show right now, and we could put him on speaker.
Yeah.
And just, so, what do you think of the councilman?
Yo, you imagine that? And he's like, you know what? Hey, that could you imagine that?
That'd be
That would-
awesome.
Wow.
I'm
You
sure
would really
he-
get the
Blur
truth.
my face out, though, would you?
He loves them all. So, anyways, go. Let's
Yeah.
hear your story.
All right. Man, yeah, I'm sure he loves them all.
He does. He told me.
They, me and Tanner were on the Braves our last year at Honeywell.
I saw you guys stole a jersey.
We did not steal them.
I
We
actually-
bought these.
I bought them. Did you know
Chris,
that?
come on, man.
They were trying to get rid of them, and they were like,
Should have said something. I got a closet full.
oh, well, thanks. Look, I got a White Sox one too. My mom brought it to me, and she's like, "Hey, was this yours?" I'm like, I don't think so. I don't know why you
Played
have
for
it.
the White Sox. All right, tell your story,
I bet it
man.
would fit
Gosh,
you.
quit wasting time.
I bet it would fit you.
Go ahead.
It's only an hour show.
All right, well, we don't have a time limit. But yeah.
4.5.
So Scotty Madison is the first base umpire. Jamie O'Mara is the behind the plate umpire.
Scott used to ump out there.
Yeah, he was. I'll tell you this, Scott Madison, he had the best strike call, and he had the punch out. He would step back and he punched it out with authority.
Okay.
He let you
What
know
years was he umpire?
it would have. Well, that would have been 2000,
That was
2001.
before my time.
Yeah.
Yep. That guy. He always had the backwards hat.
Okay.
He had the khaki
I remember
shorts.
Jamie.
And you remember Jamie O'Mara.
And I remember Adam Husenfeld.
Adam, he was a good umpire.
And I remember Tony Steen. He was
Tony
a head
Steen.
ump then, I think.
I think
or
he
was
was.
Jordan. One of them two was.
Tony Steen was.
Anyways, go ahead with your story. I'm sorry. Dude. Oh, jeez.
So we're playing the Cardinals, and Cardinals had Evan Broderson, Curtis Howard, Colin Meyer. Good. They were all good baseball players, especially Curtis Howard, good athlete. We're down, and we're in the top of the sixth. Do you remember Spencer Tingley? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I just saw him not that long ago, actually.
Bases are loaded. We're down. He hits a grand slam.
I remember
Hits a bomb.
this.
He chucks the bat, goes like back to the backstop. And at that time, they had some rule where, you're out.
Yep.
And they're discussing it. And
What, like trying to figure out what to do with
the
the runners and
umpires,
stuff, probably?
well, and they end up, boom, it's good. And so we go up by like 2. So they didn't call him out. So he doesn't get called out.
Oh, yes.
They were complaining, that they're literally coming together like, well, what do we do here? And Jamie ends up saying, no, home run's good. So we got the 8-9-1 coming up for the Cardinals. And the number one hitter, their leadoff, was Curtis Howard.
Okay.
And normally Tanner closed the games out. I pitched the first 3. He pitched the last 3. And it was only me and him. Nobody else ever pitched in our – nobody ever once. Yeah. It was me and him. You started
Way
that
to
game.
teach the kids.
I know. It was bad. But you know what? We were the only way that we were going to get him out and whatever.
Yeah, because winning's more important than teamwork.
No,
and
yeah, I know.
Hey, you know whose fault this is? Lee Camp. He's the one who pitched
well,
this.
Coach Camp, Coach Camp, bravo to you, man.
He's been blamed for enough. We don't need to bring him up again.
Yeah, you get we're not going to blame it on him. But it is whatever 6-4, whatever the score is. Get the first 2 guys out. Howie's up to bat. And it's like, I remember it's an 0-2 pitch. I throw it inside on him. He check swings it. And Jordan Camp is catching, checks down to first base, Scotty Madison. He punches him out, says, he goes around. Howie slams the bat. I'll never forget Howie. Boom, he starts crying. Shout out to Curtis Howard. Great athlete. Awesome guy. Very good friend for years. And we were so pumped, though, because the Cardinals, they were kind of like the Yankees.
Yeah.
It was always like, we were right in there, but then the Yankees and the Cardinals were good. And I remember we were so pumped.
So we beat the Cardinals and the Yankees that year?
Yes.
Wow.
That was on the field closest toward the batting cages for majors.
Okay.
That was the field we won on.
So 6.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I remember Howie, and he hits it down, and because I remember Scotty Madison going, yeah, he went around. And we're like, yeah, like everyone's just going boom. And I remember going through the lineup, and Howie's he cried. I get the cried. I could. Howie was always so competitive as a young kid. When he was emotional because he really cared, and he was just very competitive. Not to try to put him on the spot, but that's my story. I remember that because Scott. I just think of relating it, Scott Madison, all of us being here. But yeah, I remember Scotty just punching him out, and Howie's like, no. I remember going, no, and slam the bat down.
I hope you feel good,
Game's
Scott,
over.
for making kids cry.
Mayor Madison, I'm sorry, my man, but you hurt his feelings. But I think Howie probably got.
I'm
over
hoping
it.
his son is a baseball player.
Yeah.
And he has to coach.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. He's going to be like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's it.
That's a good one.
Story that I got a ton of stories, but that was
I played in the Makokata Little League.
Did you really?
Yeah, that's where I played baseball.
Wow. How'd that go?
I was hit by pitches more than I hit pitches.
Really?
Yeah. And I was horrible. I was a right fielder.
Yeah, that's okay.
I have
you were in right field.
But then when I was about 9 or 10, I was just throwing a ball at practice, and the coach said, "Do you think you could pitch?" I said, "Oh, I know I could pitch."
That's good.
I couldn't throw the ball 30 miles an hour, but we had a kid named Danny Ruggeberg, who could throw fire, man. And so he would pitch, and then I would come in and be throwing. It was like watching, the third baseman coming in major leagues and throwing nothing but knuckleballs.
Yeah.
That was my fastball, right? And I would strike guys out left and right because nobody could catch up to that.
Yeah.
But I was in a game one time. We were playing against we were the Delmer Lions, and we were playing the Makokata JCs, and I hit a kid while I was pitching. It didn't hurt him.
No.
But he was pitching.
Okay.
So the next time up to bat, he nailed me in the head.
Beamed you.
So next time he came up to bat, I nailed him.
Oh, so it was just retaliation.
Next time I came up to bat, he threw it inside, and the umpire's like, timeout.
Yeah.
He called both coaches in. Both coaches took us out of the game.
So hey, you done, man. You need to take a little seat.
I'm going to put it right between his eyes.
Mutual.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, I got you.
I was a horrible baseball player.
Hey,
Horrible.
that's okay.
Yeah.
You were a good coach. You were passionate.
I was passionate. I don't know if
Yeah.
I was a good coach, but I was passionate.
Hey, remember that one time I threw the ball, I was pitching, and I threw it at you on accident, and you caught it?
And it hit me
And
right.
That was in Pony.
It's Pony League baseball.
But
He's
it-
for the White Sox. I was for the Yankee.
But it almost hit you in the jewels.
Yeah, I caught it. He threw a curve.
And he threw it back to me.
He had Tanner had this dirty, because that was 7th, 8th grade. He had this dirty curve, being left-handed, and I remember that ball. It was like I think it was like 1-2, and you threw a curveball, and I see it, and it's just boom, and I catch it right. It almost gets me, like I said, in the jewels, and I took it and threw it back to him, and I remember everybody was
cracking
laughing.
up.
Oh, they
Yeah.
were dying. Even Charlie Carp.
What
Carpenter
do you
was-
think Joe thought in that moment?
I don't know.
Joe
What do you
Dom.
say? Would it hit somebody?
Way
in the-
to cut. Yeah, we had
What
to have
would you say?
He had to have been fooled.
That would have been a time that he would not have had a response for.
Yeah, the one time. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
good.
it.
I like your story, man. That was really good, and I'm very inspired now.
Yes. Chris,
Yes.
tell me broadcasting, because we were kind of talking a little bit beforehand. I always want to be a broadcaster. Tanner kind of knows that a little bit, but we would not have been able to get this going if it wasn't for Tanner, because he kind of pushed me to, hey, let's just do it. Let's talk about things. Let's get it going.
And he's the money guy.
He's the money guy.
Yeah.
And
Except he bought all the stuff.
it doesn't matter. I bought the stuff, but here's the thing: if we ever went big, which whatever, we're doing it because we want
It's
to
after
make a
the show
difference.
right here, kids.
Here's the thing:
See?
the guy, hey.
Lasso this rocket.
But what's for your broadcasting career? What's the most challenging part about it? From not necessarily from the beginning to now, but even if you just say today, what is the most challenging part of what you have to do each and every day?
Honestly, it's being relevant and entertaining. When you go in, I'll be honest with you boys, we're filming this very late for me. I'm in bed at 8:00.
Oh, man.
Because my alarm goes off at 3:45.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We
Appreciate
owe
you.
you
When you told me 7:30 to 8:30, I'm like,
That was pushing it?
yeah, but no, I
feel bad.
Well, that's why I ate my Chinese food so fast.
I don't feel bad actually. But
No, you
keep
shouldn't.
going.
But so when you're sitting there by yourself in a room,
Yep.
you're talking to yourself,
Yep.
and you're like, okay, what's funny? Who cares
Yeah.
about what you're saying? I talk a lot about community events and I try to be entertaining. I love doing interviews because that way I have somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
I've always liked having co-hosts.
Yeah.
Mutual friend of ours, Brad Seward, was my co-host for a number of years.
Was he really?
Yeah, he was my news director.
I actually really didn't know that.
Oh yeah, when I first came to Iowa in 2000, there was a gentleman named Jeff. His name just jumped out of my head, but he went down to the LSU network.
Okay.
From here.
Yeah.
And Brad was just getting out of college at Iowa State, and we made him the full-time news director, and it was Seward and Streets in the Morning. That was the name of the show.
That's cool.
So, and then
you got any old recordings of that?
no,
I just want to sit down and listen.
my dad has an autographed coffee mug.
Does he?
By me and Brad.
I wonder how much that's worth.
Oh, millions.
Yeah.
As long as it wasn't as stained as it is. But I've always enjoyed having co-host, a sidekick. Johnny, Andy Sokolovich, president and CEO of Grow Clinton, was my sidekick for a while.
Yeah.
Because when you're in there by yourself, it's hard to gauge if you're being entertaining without any feedback. So that's probably the most challenging.
So just which makes sense, like you were saying, just finding the relevant stuff to right now what's going on that people are going to engage and say, hey.
And care about.
For instance, it'd be like if you were sitting here doing a podcast by yourself.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you speak to these people without the people speaking back to you? Kind of, right?
But I'll tell you, here's a huge difference between me and Jeremy.
What?
He did some prep.
Oh,
I never.
you just show up.
I never planned
yeah.
anything, man.
Well, that's the thing. Like we talked about that a little bit. Like the first week or two, I was sending him stuff, and again, just making the changes. I think it's just what fits for what works for you. But yeah, I mean, I'd like to I know we could come on here and do that, but I don't want to sit here and be like,
Yeah.
Which we never would.
we wouldn't.
We'd probably stare at each other and kiss, but
Okay,
we
stop.
already did that a few
All right,
times.
see, I'm in the middle here.
Yeah.
See, I don't know
Yeah,
what
watch
was
out.
mine.
One of the things I love, it goes back to what the reason you wanted to get into broadcasting was sports broadcasting.
Yeah.
This is another story that'll take a minute. When I was in Kentucky, I was the mascot of the radio station. That's how I started my career.
That's awesome.
What was the mascot's name?
Well, we were called the Big Dog, 99.9.
And
so I was
I'm looking that up. Is it still around?
Oh, yeah. It's still
The
around.
Big Dog 90 what?
99.9. It's WVLC.com. But I dressed as a bloodhound.
Okay.
And I kept asking my boss, can I get on the air? Can I get on the air? Can I get on the air? And finally he said, yeah. And so I started doing some weekend stuff. And our morning guy quit. So the night guy went to mornings, and I got 7 to midnight. And my boss came to me. He says, hey, we signed a contract with Campbellsville College to do their sports. I said, that's awesome. I said, who's going to do the broadcasting? Now, I have been on the air for a grand total of about 9 months at this time. Okay. Never have done sports in my life. I literally went, that was George Strait on the Big Dog, 99.9. Here's Garth Brooks. That was how my career had gone. And I said, who's going to do the play-by-play? Well, you are. You want me to do college sports? What?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, you're gonna travel with the football team. They traveled Jackson, Mississippi. We were in Missouri. We were in Illinois, Indiana.
That's crazy.
And I learned how to do college football on the go.
On the fly, you're just winging it?
Just winging it.
This is what...
That's kind of what we're doing. Yeah.
And thank God there was a stats guy named Kevin. I ended up having to room with him a lot, which was weird because he was a weird dude.
Not Kevin from the Clinton Lumber Kings.
No, this is Kentucky.
Yeah,
This guy had a giant cyst on his back.
Okay.
And the trainer used to come in every night and
Ew.
pop it. And,
Okay.
and I was his roommate. It was nasty.
Did you catch it all?
And I didn't know the guy, right? And so,
You're proud of it.
but he was awesome at stats, and he had a computer program. And so when we would go to a break, whether it was the end of a quarter or a timeout, he would hand me a piece of paper, and it had all the statistics. I thought that's how you did it, man.
Right.
So then when I had to do a high school game without Kevin, I didn't know how to write down stats. I didn't know how to keep stats. So we got to halftime, and I'm like, oh, it's a halftime show. And I got the score for you, but I don't know any statistics because I have not a pen. So, but yeah, I loved sports. And so I always dreamt of being a sportscaster. And when I got the opportunity, it was a lot of fun, but it was very nerve-wracking because I didn't get to start out at a high school or anything like that. I started at a collegiate level. It was an NAIA school, granted, but it was still collegiate football.
Well, yeah, especially, yeah. I mean,
Don't matter.
you can't mess up. basically.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, this ain't little league. You're at starting the big leagues, and
Yeah.
you don't have any experience. And
well, that's a good way to learn, though. Just here.
We played against the Georgetown Tigers, and Georgetown is where the Cincinnati Bengals do their spring training.
I hate the Bengals.
Well, I'm not a big Bengals fan, but they built Rawlings Stadium
Oh.
at this college, right? It was a college about the size of Ashford.
Okay.
And they've got this gigantic football stadium, and all the players' dorms were the skyboxes.
What?
And so, like, where the press box and everything, I go in, and our press box was a little bit bigger than Clinton High's press box.
Okay.
And I go in this press box, and they've got Domino's pizza, and they've got free drinks and all this stuff. And I've got like this giant glass room that I'm in looking down on the field. I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Feeling like a big timer.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, so broadcasting, I love sports. And go back to your original question, trying to be entertaining and not just talking to yourself is the hardest part.
I like it. So, in Clinton, what do you, besides like being involved in your kids' sports, do you follow outside of the broadcasting? Do you ever like attend high school games and things like that?
Sure.
Do you do, I mean, do you have to use some of that? Do you use that to bring it back to the radio stuff? That's probably not really much to do with that.
You don't really report on sports.
That's
don't.
what I was
I
wondering,
don't.
because I guess, like, have your duties changed over the years where you're like, I was first just doing this, now, man, they're adding this, and this.
Yeah, it was. Now, we carry Fulton Sports
Okay.
on 1390 KCLN, and I have a guy who goes and does the games, so I don't have to do them.
So you know, I got you.
But my son loves sports, and so we'll go and try and catch a football game.
How old is he?
He's 6. He'll be 7 in
Okay,
February.
That's awesome. Great age.
Yeah, and so I love sports. I love high school football. I think high school football is the purest form of football. I love watching kids grow, learn offense. When you see something click in an offense, or even better yet, when you see something click in a defense, you see the defensive linebacker before the snap moving into position. You're like, yep. All right, he figured it out. And they try and go through the 2-hole and just blows the running back up. That stuff still, I'm pumped about that. I love that part of the game. But I still like going to Hawkeye games. I'm a big Hawkeye fan. I'm a Bears fan. I don't enjoy going to Bears games, and I'll tell you why.
There's no way you do.
Traffic.
Oh, I've actually never been to one. I
hate the traffic.
You just
I just
tired
thought
of
you
losing.
meant, yeah.
How you going? I mean, I get
Really?
that.
Really?
You guys are
You're a
typical
Steelers
Islanders.
fan.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You guys are
Yeah,
typical
buddy.
Islanders. Bears and Hawks. Hawkeyes and the Bulls.
I'm a Bulls
I
fan,
don't want
too.
anybody.
But I'm a Bulls fan from when they were Jordan and the Pippinets.
Okay,
That's when
yeah,
I was a Bulls fan.
Hey, right now, put it up. I'm a diehard Jordan fan and that Bulls era, but now,
But okay, here's the thing. I was honest to goodness, when I was in elementary school, I was a Steelers fan.
Really?
then what happened
Yeah.
to you?
I love Terry Bradshaw.
He was the man. He's from Comanche, Iowa.
Well, he wasn't from
Well, he
lived
wasn't
there
from.
for a
He
few
went to
months.
school. He went to school here.
A few months.
Okay, well, still, we're still associating with.
Hey,
County, Iowa.
hey, I tell everybody he's from Comanche too, but he's not from Comanche. He just lived there. But
got you.
it was in 7th grade. But no, I was in, and I liked the real reason. I liked the colors of the uniform. They looked like the Hawkeyes.
Yeah.
And so I would root for him. And Franco Harris, come on. Who wasn't a fan of Franco Harris?
Whoa, Frank
But now,
Lynn Swan.
I don't remember, Neil O'Donnell. It wasn't a real big, ooh, I'm wearing a 14 jersey.
Well, no, because he
I'm like,
threw the game. He threw that Super Bowl against the Cowboys. In
whatever.
Yes, he did.
Ben
Yes.
Roethlisberger, ooh, I like wrecking motorcycles and grabbing women. I just can't get
he don't
behind
do,
that kind of thing. You know what I'm
wow,
saying?
dude, don't be putting
what I'm
Big Ben on the
saying?
spot. We're cutting
You know
this
what
out,
I'm
guys.
saying?
He's done. You don't even
we're
be talking
snipping-
about my boy like that.
It's
Snipping
just
this.
going to be a black square right
You know?
here.
Hey,
And like muted.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find out where you live and
What? Put
whatever-
a bunch of Big Ben signs. in
No,
his yard?
whatever happens.
Try and throw a
happens.
rock through my window because if you're a Roethlisberger's fan, I ain't got nothing to worry about.
Oh boy, good lord, man, you got all the
people-
jokes tonight.
What was that sound that just hit the chimney? That's probably Stenda trying to throw it through the window.
No.
And it's a bay window, for gosh sakes.
Look, man, why
People
you
are gonna
have
love that.
Yeah.
They are.
Hey,
but,
Kenny Pickett, nice toss.
hey, listen, I'm with you. I'm not sold on Pickett.
No,
Pickett's
you're
been
not.
strong
You're
now.
so not sold on Pickett that you guys took Mitch Trubisky.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, hey,
it was
good move.
a pathetic. It was.
You know, I heard they were
going
to sign Cade McNown, but they couldn't
They
find
should.
him.
They should have. Was Cade a lefty?
Yes, out of UCLA.
I do remember Cade, and I would take him over Trubisky. I like Pickett a lot better than Trubisky.
Yeah.
You know who I hate is Matt Canada. the offensive coordinator.
You do?
So I've talked.
I wish you would have told us.
Hope the fans know. Matt Canada, if you're a Steeler fan or football fan, I hate that guy. And if he ever sees this, he can come to my
He's
house.
probably waiting with bated breath for the next episode.
If he has social media, I'm going to tag him.
I hope you tag him in because if he
I'm like,
wants
hey,
to
go to minute marker 39, whatever, and check this out, bro.
Show up, bro, because if he showed up in my place, I'll put my job, my life, my career on the line.
Oh,
I'll
my
fight that
gosh.
guy. I don't even care.
Jeez.
Yep.
And as we're duking it out, I'm going to talk to him about the plays that he should have been calling and who he should have had in and what they should be.
Get
No
one
way.
hit in and be like, listen here. Remember
Hey.
that one time?
Yeah,
You should have.
Yeah, he won't even be able to. He's trying to respond, but he's not going to be able to.
Okay, fair enough.
I got you though.
I feel
I love it. I love to, when people take shots, but then I always say, yeah, what's your team done?
I got 6 rings.
Yeah, Ben has
one for the thumb.
Ben's got 2 of them. I mean, how many? When's the last time you all want to? I don't know. It's been a long.
You know
I don't
what?
know. I probably wasn't alive. I don't
Much like my whole thought process on youth sports, it's about learning the game, not who wins.
In the NFL, it is about winning. No, I mean, come on, man. Hey, learn how to block this offensive lineman. No, that's not. Or
Listen,
block this defensive lineman.
Listen. The Bears went to the Super Bowl with Rex Grossman.
They did. Their
That
defense
tells
was
you
stellar.
something right there.
They had.
I don't know what it tells you, but that tells
They
you
had
something.
Briggs in their locker.
Yeah.
Who else was in the secondary? Tillman. They had it, and I'm not even a Bears fan, but they were locked down D. But
They weren't no Iron Curtain.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm just saying ring. I'm saying 6. I'm throwing it up.
Did you play any high school sports?
I didn't.
You did not.
Dude, I'm the most unathletic person you've ever met.
Yeah. So
I can teach everything.
So did you do like theater stuff?
Yeah.
I think so, right? Because
Yeah.
I saw some photos. Before.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Bring that up.
You're welcome.
Well,
No.
that's how you have to be in this. I feel like because your voice, again, if I could trade voices with you right now, we're trading.
So I'm going to ask you because I'm going to do this with every guest that we have.
Okay.
So let's say it's right before you're going out, your big show you got coming up. What song are you going to listen to pump you up?
I don't listen to music to pump up.
You don't? Silence is better.
No, you're gonna look at me and go, really? You do that? I like to run.
Really?
I try and get my blood
Get it like-
flowing.
get you
Yeah.
going. Okay.
A lot of times I used to headbutt the wall.
You headbutt the wall?
Can't do that anymore.
No, one too many
Can't
clipboards and
remember.
walls.
It's kind of like you run to the refrigerator. Yeah, snack time. You're like, Tanner's like, snack. Liz says, honey, I've got it. Oh, no, he knows it's snack. He's running. So,
Well, that's why I'm not 93 pounds anymore, like this says.
93 pounds.
Yep. That was an 80. Well, no.
What is it?
In 1990.
Get out of town. Let me see.
I mean to cut you off. I did not mean to
No,
cut you
you're
off.
fine.
But the running part was funny because I thought about Tanner. He was fast back in the
Wow.
day.
93. You know
That
how
was
long
a
it's been
day,
since
baby.
Uh-huh.
93. You know what I was doing in 93? I don't know either. I was drunk.
Oh,
Yeah,
you drink.
not bad.
Well,
I was in
what was your
college.
choice of drink in college? What was your choice
Well,
of drink?
it depends on what year it was.
Just give me this. Give me overall. If you could go back to your 4 years of college.
Yeah, first drink.
4
that
years.
comes
It was
to
6.5 years. Jeremy.
All right. Well, okay. All right. It took me 10, so don't worry
Well,
about
the whole thing, I graduated 23 years after I started. But I went for 13 semesters before they asked me to leave.
it. Really?
Yeah.
it. Did you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay.
And when I left after 13 semesters, I was a sophomore. True story. Okay, my go-to was early on was vodka.
What kind of vodka?
It didn't matter.
Hawkeye?
Just any vodka.
I drank some Hawkeye.
Man.
Very old Barton, Heaven Hill. That was the generic stuff down there.
Woo.
And
Sound good. I'll tell you that.
we'd go to parties and there'd always be beer, and I couldn't drink beer.
Yeah.
It'd
That's
make me
how-
sick
that's
to
how
my
I was.
stomach.
Bro, you and Tanner are
No, listen,
twins, bro.
So I locked,
Get outta
I
here.
locked
Come
myself
on,
in my
man.
dorm room
Yeah.
with a 6-pack of warm Miller Genuine Draft.
Trying to like just choke it down.
And I guzzled all 6 bottles. I threw up like 30 times. But after that, I could drink anything. And so
I
now,
like that.
yes, I drank a lot of bourbon.
You're
There was a
you're
drink back
classy
then
guy.
called Cisco. It was kind of like cheap Mad Dog. Mm-hmm. And for $2.50, you could get a fifth. And so I would buy like 3/5.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but I like the orange flavor the best.
Okay.
But yeah, I had a little bit of a drinking problem when I was in college.
That's all right. I'm sure most people did.
I mean,
But I went to a Baptist
now.
school where it was against the rules.
Oh, yeah. That's why you went in the dorm room. Then.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like you.
So, okay, let me go back to my question then. If
Okay.
you didn't listen to music before, what was your, I guess, your go-to song? Like, what's your favorite song of all time? If you have one, or just maybe an artist.
Favorite artist of all time is Elvis Presley.
Okay.
I also love Merle Haggard.
Yeah.
But so like when I was in high school, we listened to a lot of hair bands because I went to high school in the late 80s, early 90s. I graduated in 91.
Okay.
So Poison, Winger, Slayer,
Poison.
Slaughter.
Did you say,
Every rose has its thorn.
Which
Love
one's
that
his?
song.
you're sounding like Enrique?
This one's his, isn't
Yeah.
it? There we go.
Hello.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, when I was in high school, getting ready to go out on stage or something, I like to just get myself pumped up, talk to myself, yell at myself. I would headbutt the paper towel dispenser, and I'd run around the school
just
real
try to-
quick, and then I'd come out and to be, oh, not to be.
Get all pumped up to.
I went to college on a music scholarship.
Oh, okay, cool.
Vocal performance.
All right.
And I was kicked out of the music program after 2 years. And I was there on a theater scholarship. I got kicked out of the radio program in college.
Did you?
I did. Got kicked out of the television program in college.
And look at you now.
Look at me now, baby.
Woo! I mean, but if we're like how we're relating this right now, exactly what we're talking about or you're talking
We
about.
have no idea.
But really, like I'm saying, like you getting kicked out. Think about it. The adversity that you went through, and look where you really are at now. I mean, you're like I said, you're the voice of Clinton County. That's what you are. I mean, seriously. Even though I've been away for 12 years, I remember in high school, and I remember as a kid, you listened on the radio. Where do you think now? And I know this is kind of diverting a little bit, but do people shy away from the adversity? Yeah. Do they shy away from the adversity because you went through all the things you're talking about? School.
Right.
That's tough. Think about now. Kids have a tough semester at college. Oh, I got a C in my class or a D, and they quit.
Yeah.
You're talking about getting kicked out, and you still kept going back and saying, and guess what?
Yeah.
I'm going to find a way to do you said your passion from a kid. You wanted to do what you're doing now, and now you're doing it. What advice would you give to a person now, not even just pursuing broadcasting, but just a career or outside of sports when they go into the real world?
Right.
What advice? What's the best advice you would give to somebody?
Find someone who's doing it, learn from them, and then if it's really what you want to do, go get it. When I was doing the mascot gig, I really wanted to be on the air, but I was paid to just dress in this dog suit.
Yep.
And the guy said, well, I'm not going to pay you to train. If you want to learn how to do it, go learn how to do it. And if you're worth it, we'll put you on the air. I was in the studio from 7 in the morning until 7 at night, Monday through Saturday.
Just watching and grinding.
Watching all the other DJs, listening to how they said things, watching how they did things, and learning. And so when I got to the point where I thought I was ready, the program director at the time, his name was Steve Rollins, God bless him, Lord keep his soul in good shape. He went to the boss and said, Brian, Streets is ready. And I remember my first shift. I was about an hour and 15 minutes into my first shift, and the phone rang, and I looked down at the caller ID, and it was my boss. And I knew I had messed up a bunch of stuff. Yeah. And I picked up the phone, and I won't use the exact language he used, but it all came down to, when I get to the station, if you haven't figured it out, I'm throwing you out. And so I stepped back, took a deep breath, remembered everything I was taught. I said, I'm not going to give up on this. And so here I am now, 28 years later.
Yep.
And yeah, and see, to me, that's why I think relating to the community and the people who listen is the adversity part, because I think that's hard now. And maybe that's because there's people that enable different angles, but that is the most important part, is being able to work through adversity, because everything's great. We all know that when life is great, everything's great. You don't care, but when things go bad, that's when you really figure out who you really are as a person. Right. Can you be like, hey, I lost my job. Go find another job. You can find another job. I'm just
don't
gonna
curl up. Yeah. I mean, because especially a lot of kids nowadays their parents are allowing them to do that.
Right. Yeah. Right. My dad was not one of those people.
Yeah.
And I finished my college degree too, in 2013. I finished my business.
That's
degree.
Awesome.
I went back to school and
That's
finished.
Awesome.
And I didn't need to. I was at the top of my profession. I was the general manager of the station I know I'm going to be at for as long as they let me do it.
But you just
so I didn't need the degree,
yeah.
But I wanted to prove that I could do it, and so I did it.
Absolutely. And see, to me, that's awesome. I think that's the part for listeners. You just gotta, the grind part is, I mean, you think about when we're all young kids, there's nothing to worry about besides just being a kid until you become an adult.
Yeah.
And then,
Or you pee your pants.
well, what they?
I still do.
Yeah. Well, I know.
cool kids do it.
Yeah, Miles, was it? That's from what movie?
Billy
Billy
Madison.
Madison. God, I love that movie.
Great movie.
Great. All right, hey, before we're gonna move on, this is the last thing I'm gonna talk
Okay.
about. We're talking about this. I was so pissed one time begging groceries. I was begging groceries. This lady's got whatever her stuff's coming through, and I accidentally, in a bag, put 4 cans of, or it was just like cans of soup, right? And on top of it, I put, the fabric softener, like that you put in the dryer sheets. So I bag everything away and, hey, have a nice day. And I always, hey, how are you? And she goes, oh, no, honey, you can't do that. I go, what? And I'm 15 years old. I go, what are you talking about, ma'am? And she's like, well, the fabric softener is going to get into the cans of soup and it's going to poison us. And I'm not kidding you. I'm 50 and I'm thinking to myself, and I'm looking at the cashier.
Just killed the family.
Yeah. And she's standing there looking at me, and the manager is standing there too behind her, and she goes, Jeremy, you need to go get her some more soup. And I'm looking at her, I go, hey, I know that you know probably the manager I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
He'll know. And I go, what are you talking about? And the lady goes, please, I'll be poisoned. And I'm grabbing these cans of soup, and I'm walking down the aisle. I don't even know where the aisle's at for the soup because I just bag groceries. And I remember walking down it, and I wanted to throw every single of those cans. I wanted to just chuck them as hard as I could.
You're talking about the ones that she wanted you to replace? Did you just go put those back on the shelf?
I would have just walked around, came back, and just put the same
I
ones in
should
there.
have,
That would've been
but I
great.
wasn't smart enough then. But you know what? I was so mad. I wanted to chuck them, and I remember putting them. I'll say this: I put them back.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I grabbed different ones, but then somebody else got them. Like, you're not gonna die from fabric softener sitting on top of
You
your
poisoned
cans
the
of.
next family who came in and grabbed those cans.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, okay.
I started my my life as an adult in retail. I was 16 and I got a job at a box store.
Okay.
And I was in charge of sporting goods, automotive, and hardware.
That's a bit broad.
Yeah, but it was the back corner of the building, right?
Okay, yeah.
And my best friend was the electronics person.
Okay.
And he had this little cubby area in the middle of the store, and it was all secure. And one day we had phones that had a green line and a red line, and it, boom, Mr. Streets, green line, please, Mr. Streets, green line. Man. My phone was like from me to you. Okay, It was right across the hall from.
Yeah.
I looked at him. I went, what? He said, pick up the phone. So I'm like, what? Can you see my monitor? And he had a little security monitor. I'm like, yeah. See that guy in the back? And I look. This dude had to have been 6'8". I said, yeah. He's stealing a bunch of movies. And I'm like, what do you want me to do about it? He said, when he comes to the security check, it's going to go off. Could you stand in front of him and stop him? What? He's like, well, if you can just stop him, I'll ask him to come back through. I'm like, all right. So guy comes in, and of course, all the alarms go off. And I said, sir, and I mean, I'm looking at his belly button. I'm like, sir, I don't know what's wrong with our security system, but can you back up and come back through? Because it's saying you might have something on your person. And he looked at me, he said, no. And he hit me in the chest and lifted me off the ground. And I just remember flying through the air going, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
My heart has stopped. I'm going to die. And he takes off running, and my friend yells, code 99 front, code 99, which meant we have someone thieving and running to the front door. And our manager had a physical fist fight with the guy, right? So we get him, we take him up into the break room, and the police get there. And he says, man, I got to go to the bathroom. I kid you not. My boss looks at me and says, Streets, go ahead and take him in the bathroom.
Like, wait,
This guy's he is a Mack truck, and I'm a Volkswagen.
he just lifted you into the next
But
universe.
he tried flushing cassettes and movies down the toilet that he had on his person
okay.
still. But and I got in trouble. You talk about bagging groceries. I was cashiering, and it was about this time of year.
You embezzle money?
And no,
Okay.
but I would sing.
I'm just wondering. I'm just asking questions.
Oh, I would sing Christmas carols. And this was when the wand was
You were
first
singing?
invented. Yeah, when the wand was first invented, so it'd beep on the barcodes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but you had to swipe it. You couldn't just click it. You had to swipe. Right. And so I'd be like, jingle bells, boop, boop, jingle all the way, boop. And this woman just went nuts on me because it was taking too long.
Yeah.
I mean, it's holiday shopping. There was thousands of people in our store,
Yeah.
and I'm singing Jingle Bells, beeping. And if the scanner didn't take right away, I had to wait.
Yeah, they're probably like, come on, man.
So I didn't stay at that job very long.
Why would you?
We got caught dunking basketballs on the goals in the
Oh,
sporting
yeah.
goods section, too.
You got to do that. Yeah.
So, yeah. I feel you. I didn't poison anybody, but
I didn't put. Listen, nobody died, and that's
That you know
the most
of.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know what? Even if they did, it didn't. It wasn't from that. It was natural causes, but people are nuts, and we're talking about. It's just crazy. I don't even know. Tanner, I got some good stuff on here, but I want to go for you guys. I want to.
put in the water. Okay.
I got a start bench cut for sports. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. And real quick, and I just want to use basketball.
Okay.
But I'm throwing it for both of you guys because you'll know a couple of these guys.
Okay.
For sure. I do, and I know Tanner will. But you got to start one, bench one, and cut one.
Okay.
All right.
Start, bench, cut. Allen Iverson, Isaiah Thomas, Steph Curry. Random, go first.
Start.
Yep, you got to start, bench, cut. Iverson,
Do
Isaiah.
I have to have a reason or no?
You could no. You just tell me.
Okay.
Go for it.
I'll be honest. Start Steph Curry, bench Iverson, cut Isaiah. You said Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
And these are just people I watch. But I'm you have to understand where I'm coming from. I watch the NBA a lot nowadays.
Is it because
That's like my
Isaiah's
thing.
shorts are short?
I like those.
I too would cut Isaiah
Okay.
just because he was a Piston.
You're cutting him. Yeah, that's right. He's bad boy.
yeah.
Bad boy.
The other two, I don't know that you can lose either way.
Yeah, I know.
Iverson was a bad man.
He was a bad.
So
dude.
I
He was
might start Iverson and bench Curry just because I can use Curry down the road to come in and
Okay. Fair enough.
Iverson, man, he was a bad man.
Yeah.
He was. He's a bad.
Loved
dude.
watching him play.
He
But he was another guy I couldn't stand to listen talk
Yeah.
because he just wasn't very smart.
Practice?
Talking
Talking about practice?
His practice
Talking
speed,
about
man. I
practice?
loved
Talking
him.
about practice?
Yeah, that guy was a baller, though. I loved him.
I think
Yeah.
he changed the game a lot in that time
Absolutely.
he
period.
did.
Absolutely.
So
He was a-
he played bigger than what he was.
Yes.
Too, you
He
know?
was a dog.
Yeah, for sure.
He was a man.
What about you? Or are you not answering that question? That's
No,
just a
I
question.
want that for you guys
Okay.
because I already know I'm taking Iverson. I'm just saying they're all both cut and Iverson's coming in.
Okay.
He's a dog.
He's
man.
starting and bench. Okay.
Iverson's got the whole team, man. He's a dog. He crossed Jordan. He's the only guy that really I ever thought crossed Jordan over.
True. Big facts. Okay, what else you got? You got another set or no?
No, I'm just
That was
going with
it?
that.
You just wanted to know?
I like that.
Okay.
I wanted hoops. Yeah.
I really like watching Curry. I actually used to not like him a couple of years ago. I don't know.
I liked him when he was with Davidson
Yeah.
in college, man. I was like, that guy is just amazing.
I love seeing the video of when he was like a kid and he was at an NBA camp or something, or he shot like the half court shot at, I can't remember. I don't remember.
That was when his dad was probably with the Hornets.
That's true. Yeah, his dad's who? Dell?
Dell, yeah. And I remember him on the Hornets when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Rex Chapman.
You know, and his brother,
Rex Chapman. Yeah. Yeah. Rex Chapman.
Steph's brother Seth is actually a baller too. But
Yeah, he is.
he definitely gets overlooked though.
Yeah.
Does he?
Just because, I mean, yeah.
Who's
his
he
brother,
with now? Sixers?
Maybe the Nets.
Nets? That
I don't know. He switches like every year.
Yeah.
So he's a good player though. But
I still like Charles Barkley.
yeah, I like him as a commentator.
He's the man. I mean, listen to these guys talk.
Him and Shaq, dude. Awesome.
They like fight each other, wrestle each other, and they legit. You talk about just doing this like pro bono or just setting up and be like, let's go.
Well, yeah, that's why they're getting paid like zillions of dollars.
Right. That's why we need to just.
That's
be
why
like,
we're getting paid zillions of dollars.
We'll just throw people down on the ground. They like tackle each other on their shows.
Do you want to wrestle? Or?
Not really. No.
Hold on, let me
Y'all
take my
make
shirt
me
off.
Yeah. Okay. I ain't doing none of that, bro.
Y'all
Come
make
on,
me nervous.
Chris. If you'd like to.
You didn't know this was shirts and skins? Episode 4, we're stepping it up.
Hey, shirts, skins, shirts. Yeah,
Listen,
you can start picking.
listen, being the fat kid my whole life, I was never skins, man.
Me neither. I made sure.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I'd
man.
like move in line. I'm like, okay, I'm down here.
Doing the math. A, B, A, B.
Oh, you know what? I know we're running late on time, but I got another athletic story for
Go
you.
for it. We wanted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seventh,
Showcase it.
seventh grade.
Okay.
Okay. I'll tell my basketball story first.
Yes.
You guys remember Scott Mamons, right?
Yes.
Scott,
He was the athletic director at school.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Shout out to him, Scott.
He
Mamons.
was.
Yes.
He was our PE teacher and my basketball coach in seventh grade,
Okay.
and we only had 6 guys in my class.
Really?
Yeah.
Where
So,
did you go?
Delwood.
Oh, I know where Dell is.
Yeah. So we all had to play.
Yep.
I was so bad at basketball that Scotty had me stay on the defensive end of the floor so that I wouldn't get in the way of our offense.
So you like opposite cherry picked?
yeah.
Okay.
And I remember one game I was running and my athletics supporter broke. And so like I had the elastic string hanging out from underneath my shorts.
Look, you just
And
No way.
every time I'd run past Scotty, he was laughing, and I didn't know why, you know? And so finally he called the timeout, and he said, Streets, go to the locker room. I said, why? He said, your jock snapped. And I'm like, my what? And so, yeah, it broke.
So you were wearing a cup in basketball?
No, I was wearing a jock strap.
Oh, I thought you were talking about a cup.
No,
I was
we
like,
didn't have
what
cup.
the
It just
heck?
had the strap. And then,
Oh.
like where your butt cheeks are hanging out, and they got the little, it broke off. And so it's like dangling down below my shorts, because back in the mid 80s, early 80s, we wore shorts.
like,
You know what I'm saying?
That's why they were called shorts.
Yeah. So I had to go to the locker room and find my underpants, put those
Oh
on.
man, that's
So then-
classic.
Later on, I was on the track team.
Okay.
Okay. I wanted to do shot put and discus.
Yep.
And every practice started out with what we called the banana run. It was a 2-mile run through Elwood. And one practice I'm running, and I was I was the round mound rebound before Chuck. And I'm running, and I don't see any of my teammates or any.
Because you were so far ahead of them.
Yeah. A pickup truck pulls up next to me. And he's like, Streets. And I look over, and it's Scott. I'm like, yeah, coach, get in. Like, all right.
We've had enough. We're all waiting.
Everybody else was finished, and they were almost done with practice, and I'm like at 3/4 of a mile. And so on the way back to the school, he says, I've been thinking, we need a manager. And so that is how I became the 7th grade
track manager.
manager at Delwood Middle School.
That's great.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Yep, you keep the times, Chris.
Yeah. Well, that's how unathletic I was.
That's all right.
We had 6 kids, and I couldn't play.
Well, you know, maybe-
Cherry grower. That's the opposite of the cherry.
Yeah.
I like it though. Sometimes you just got to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one of my teammates in basketball went on to a Division I career in football. Played for Kansas State University.
That's sweet. That's
one
cool.
of only 6 guys in our class.
Hey, good percentage.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Rest of us turned out to be alcoholics.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it happens to the best of us.
I'm
We deal with
kidding.
it.
I'm kidding.
That's subjective.
All
Hey,
right.
I'm giving it. Hold on. I'm giving a shout out real quick. Raise Energy because I love them. I do like them. Tanner,
How
I
much
don't
do they
think
pay
he
for
likes
that?
them. Corey Snodgrass, insider
Dude, listen.
rep.
Well,
Listen, as somebody who lives by advertising, you're going to promote something, you better get $1.
We're getting $100,000 for doing this.
All right.
Corey
In that
Snodgrass.
case,
Hey,
try the new Raise Sports Energy drink.
Yeah, give us one. Tell us how you would
I don't
promote
even know what
this.
it is.
Raise Energy.
I've never heard of
It's
it.
good. Yeah, I like it.
Who's Ray?
It's not Ray. It's Ray.
I said
man.
Raise. Who's this?
Raise.
But 0 sugar.
And no sugar in
is
that.
Ray,
big one.
yeah.
All right. Raise Energy.
That's the Galaxy Burst.
Yeah, 0 sugar, 0 dyes, electrolytes, and aminos.
Okay.
How much caffeine's in it?
I don't know. Good question.
I don't look at that stuff. I just drink.
Come
it.
on, Corey, if you're going to brand, baby. Raise Energy. Find it today
Dun, 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 dun,
at your favorite convenience store.
Yes. Oh, woo! I'm loving it, baby.
I'll be looping that for Stenda later.
That's good, my man.
Thanks for tuning in to Honeywell Heroes.
Honeywell Heroes.
Oh my good lord.
Yeah. Okay. What you got? You got anything else, Random?
You're sounding amazing, dude. I just want you to know that.
Yeah, you know, I've been working on my vocals. I've been singing a lot, in my apartment.
Man, I apologize. That burp stunk.
I didn't smell it.
I didn't even smell it.
I'm not
You burp-
breathing in though.
Listen, we don't judge here. We are a non-judgmental group.
That's so nice.
And we want the people of Clinton and the United States, the whole country, to understand we're not. You can come here and talk about whatever you want. We love you. We want you here.
Okay, so we're gonna get into this. Okay,
All
Stenda.
right.
Woo!
So,
Guys,
man,
you guys are gonna
so, man,
love
JP.
this.
So we got a weird, very extremely weird combo tonight. So me and JP went to Gateway Mart, which is the new store there, kind of by Walgreens in the north.
Right
end of
off the
Clinton.
North Bridge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's Stenda's favorite store to go to when you visit Clinton, Iowa. And we
Do you use the drive-through?
no, we go in.
Oh, I like the drive-through.
We go talk to them. We're like, hey, what's up? So, anyways, I told this girl tonight that we have this
Gateway
podcast.
Mart?
Gateway Mart, yeah.
1930 Roosevelt Street. As Random said,
We're getting
the
specific.
greatest place in Clinton, and I will never go anywhere else.
So
love y'all.
Anyways, I told the cashier lady about what our podcast, so we're gonna shout them out. Hopefully, they see this. Otherwise, I'm gonna cry. But anyways, so we got some.
For all your alcohol and tobacco needs, try the
Yes.
Gateway Mart just off the North Bridge in Clinton.
They also have hats.
Man,
and
that is-
stuff, shirts.
Woo.
It's interesting. So they have
Always love it.
some moonshine dill pickles. So we're gonna just try them. I don't know. She said that typically people don't just eat them like as a snack. But
We're not typical people.
and
We're not.
and we're also gonna snack them
We're not normal.
because we are rebels.
Well, crack it open and smell it. I want you to.
I
do
did
that.
earlier.
Did you?
It actually smells really good, surprisingly.
Let's get this done because I'm kind of hungry.
Okay, I'll get you one. So, what should we do first?
What?
Well, okay, you want to shout out these?
All right, so I brought along with me because I saw the first one. You guys did the Mike's Fun Foods hot wings.
Yes.
I was hoping we'd have hot wings tonight.
Sorry, I brought pickles.
We disappointed. My bad.
But I stopped by Grandma's Goodie Jar on North 2nd Street in Clinton, and I told Marianne I was doing this show, and she saw the episode you ate the hot wings.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
That's
and she said you were crazy.
Yeah.
But I wanted
I was
something.
also dying. So.
Yeah, I thought I want something that we can do that would be a little competitive and a little fun. Yeah. So I bought a couple pounds of sour candies, and I thought we would see how many we could fit in our mouth.
So we're gonna see if we can each get 10 or how many you got in there. You think?
Listen, I can't do sour.
Yes, you can.
No, I can't.
So we're gonna do it. And
I can eat dog food, but I cannot eat sour stuff.
We're gonna see who can rap the fastest.
Who can rap the fastest? Yeah.
Let's do that.
Dude, I have tried to learn your songs, and if I
flow
slow
all
them
day,
down,
but this time it's longer. My favorite weight
If I slow
program is
him
Bigger,
down.
Faster, Stronger. Remember that song? That was old school. Tina wrote it for me.
I put it in the computer and I slowed it down.
Just to hear.
Just so I can figure out the words.
Okay, good.
I'm a big Random Tanner fan.
That's good, man. So fun. Not fun facts, but cool info about that is I'm actually shooting a video, and then I have another new song coming. So I am coming back. I'm not sure exactly when. I have not dropped a song in 2022, so maybe I'll drop one before
You're
the new
running
year.
out of time, brother.
I know. Maybe I'll just sing the national
Did you
anthem
already
on
take a
Facebook.
bite of that?
I did. I love it.
How is it? It's good.
It's gonna put you on. You're gonna be out sleeping like a baby, but that's cool.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I know.
I don't like the look you just made.
What the?
Woo! Love y'all, but
All right,
you
listen,
get, man.
listen.
Let's go. Come on.
You think that's good?
Oh, you put the that man goes hard, dude. You know, there's a lot of love for this guy. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
see?
I know you ain't liking it, dog. I mean, there's no way you can like it.
What in the world?
That's bad.
You like it?
I don't mind it. I mean, I
So
get.
you like this and you like all the hot stuff, but you ain't gonna eat a sour.
Put that whole thing in your mouth. Quit being a wimp. Oh,
Yeah,
my God.
do what you do best.
I'm not a liquor guy though. Never have it. Oh.
I don't even know what it tastes like. Tastes like.
Lighter fluid.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Wow, man, that's
It's like something you put in your engine.
I told you that was pretty strong stuff.
2 minutes later, Chris Streets is sleeping on the floor.
Wow.
Chris, wake up.
I had a whole pickle.
Yeah, man.
Yowzers.
So, what are we gonna try to do with these?
Best served chilled. Well,
Well, you didn't have that chilled at all.
Yeah, we didn't.
You just keep sticking it in your mouth.
Well, because we bought those like what, 20 minutes before we even.
now go on.
What do you want me to do?
Finish it.
What do you mean?
Finish it.
It's not terrible.
That's bad.
I hear the heavenly angels speaking from above.
Yeah. Like, Mom.
All right, so I have
Woo!
what I think we need to do. How many do you think you can put in your mouth and be able to chew and finish?
Well,
Without
Chew and
drooling.
finish?
Yeah. Throw 'em over
to
How-
me.
you swallow them?
Yeah, you got to chew them.
I swallow them?
Yeah.
It's gum, isn't it?
No, it's just candy.
Oh, I thought it was gum. I'm like, what are you trying to do to me? You want me to
Let's
die?
go- let's get
we'll
it
go.
going.
If I
Grab
die,
it. Grab a handful.
If I die, we'll go viral. So
Yeah, that's true.
that's all what it's about.
Grab you a handful. Come on.
I almost just put them on the pickle juice plate.
There you go. All right.
So what are we doing? You're gonna beat us. I just saw you eat that pickle, so we stand no chance.
What do you want me to do?
He's already going.
Fill your mouth.
You got to count how many you got in there, though,
That's
right?
1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
3,
8. That's 9.
5,
Alright.
7.
All right.
There's
Nine.
16.
Well, we're gonna have a conversation with our mouth are full.
How many you got?
16.
I have 10. I can't even get 15. Huh?
15.
17, 18, 19,
No way.
20.
You guys gotta be kidding me.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
22. 23.
I got like 11.
They're not going anywhere else. Yuck. Why did I do that?
I got 23.
I have.
Wow.
I went way down.
How much did you get?
23.
I got 11. You know what? I thought I had a big mouth. You guys have big mouths. Both, man.
You know what that means?
I don't want to know.
I mean, I don't
We
know.
can hold more jawbreakers.
Whatever it means. Nothing I want to be associated with.
What was that?
Nothing I want to be associated with.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Anyway.
Hey,
That was fun.
No, really go.
hey,
Go.
Chris. Before we sign off,
Yeah.
for me speaking to you, I really
I look at serious.
these are good though. I always eat them because I like them.
My mouth is so wet right now.
But hey, because the reason why your mouth is because you're such a snack guy. Like you,
We can
always,
just get on with your question.
I'm just saying though, you're such a snack guy though.
He's giving me time to swallow this.
You know, no, hey, we appreciate you, especially giving us the rundown of what you do for the community because I think you are an integral part of the community.
Big time.
I really do. If we're being serious for the 2.5 seconds on this podcast tonight, you are an integral part of the community, and I believe you're a big source of information. You're involved in the community with the coaching, what you do every day for all the businesses in the community in general, even for us right now. And I think that's why Clinton's able to continue to go forward and continue to thrive. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate you coming on here, and I hope we can get you back someday.
Absolutely. I appreciate it very much. I love the idea of the show. Honeywell Heroes. Honeywell has a very special place in my heart. I love this town. I love our community. And I'm a big backer of it because I believe in it. And we start our big food drive. I know by the time this show gets dropped, it'll be about over. But we have our food drive coming up that we do for the community, and we've done for the last 23 years. Awesome. And I love our hometown, man. And I appreciate what you guys are doing. So I wish you guys the best of luck. And if you ever get bored, you need a guest to come in, give me a call.
Okay.
Yeah, we get. We'll
You're coming to do the show tomorrow, right?
We'll both be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might be.
I appreciate you. Hey, you've always supported me, man, since day one. So I'm
Absolutely.
happy you're here. And that is it for episode 4. Random Tanner, JP Stenda,
And Chris Streets.
Honeywell Heroes, baby.
Love y'all.
Mm-hmm.